Up to the present day, there are those even among us Filipinos who call Tagalog, Ilocano, Kapampangan, Bisaya, etc. as dialects, not languages, which they are. A language is a system by which people communicate, and it has its own distinct grammar and vocabulary. It is mostly unintelligible to speakers of other languages. Meanwhile, a dialect is a local variation of one language that can differ in vocabulary, grammar, or pronunciation. But people who speak the different dialects of a language can generally understand one another. There are more than 180 languages spoken in the country, as a matter of fact, each of them unintelligible from the other, which is the main criterion to distinguish one language from another. The Tagalog spoken in Batangas has a different accent and some vocabulary not used in other Tagalog-speaking provinces, but by and large, the Tagalog spoken by Batangueños is generally understood by native Tagalog speakers in other provinces. Thus, it is fair to say that the language spoken in Batangas has a dialect of its own, but it is not a different language. How this erroneous notion became perpetuated can be traced back to the American colonial era. One name among others stands out as among the reasons for the error, although this is not to say that the person was solely responsible. The name was Frank R. Blake of Johns Hopkins University. He was an expert in Philippine languages, and because he was a linguist, he was naturally aware that there are numerous languages in this country. Whether by design or as an unwitting error, we do not really know, but Blake in his many works would also refer to Philippine languages as dialects. Because he was a linguist, the unwitting error really seems highly unlikely. That an esteemed American linguist would call these such served a more sinister purpose for American colonial administrators who wanted to push for English as the unifying language for all Filipinos. The justification was that the so-called dialects were subordinate or inferior to English and even Spanish, the lingua franca among the ruling elite during the Spanish colonial era. It was a deliberate attempt to put down the complexity and independence of each Philippine language. When the word dialects started being used in official government documents, newspapers, and, crucially, textbooks, the error became perpetuated. Those who had the stamina to read this till the end, I hope you not only learned something new, but will also make an effort to correct others, who insist on calling our country's beautiful and historic languages as dialects. Thanks for watching. If you found this video enlightening, please hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more content about our amazing culture. See you in the next one.